Mike Wilson, chief economist at Morgan Stanley, has declared the recession is over. Yes, according to Mike Wilson at Morgan Stanley, the market is actually in the early stages of reaccelerating. First, let me be clear. The one thing that I do like about Mike Wilson's call is he called it a 3-year rolling recession. If you are an OG of this channel, you know that I have long thought that what we were experiencing was just that, a long duration rolling recession. Where I think it is interesting is Mike is planting the flag saying it is over. I think that is a very bold call. I think a lot of the upcoming metrics and whatnot probably will go against the grain. But as we talked about the other day, we could be we could be a rocket ship that is on the tarmac or launching pad. Ignition has been done, and we have all of that force, but the rocket has yet to move. It's an interesting call. It's an interesting thing to think about. So again, shout out Morgan Stanley, Mike Wilson for having the balls to make a call that certainly will get the doomers and the negative folks making crazy comments. Lots of other stuff to talk about today. Lots of stuff. First, let me tell you about where I'm going to be on March. Not March. Where'd March come from? October 2nd and 3rd. The team at Think Media, Sean Cannell, my coach for YouTube, is holding a 2-day mastermind. If you have any interest in YouTube and investing in yourself, I will be there. I am going. This will be the second year in a row that I go. Very helpful, very hands-on. If you have interest in going, reach out to me. They gave me a discount code, which I think is ORAT50, but I might be mistaken. Let me know, and I will get that to you so you get a discount if you end up going. Again, October 2nd and 3rd in Vegas. So hopefully see you there. We got some other stuff. KeyBank had a very negative survey about small businesses. 25% of small businesses are what they call in survival mode. They are running thin on cash. They are not making long-term decisions. They are simply struggling to keep the lights on. 46% are not performing as expected. When they generated their 2025 plan, they are behind plan. And then finally, 50% of small businesses highlight inflation as their top concern. Earlier in the week, we talked about $7.7 trillion sitting in money market accounts. I am thinking that is dry powder that will eventually come flying off the sidelines. However, I wasn't sure about the institutional investor. So I went seeking that information, and I found an article referencing institutional cash levels are at record lows. Record lows. Right now, institutional cash is sitting at 3.9%. That is cash against their portfolio. So again, the institutional levels of cash, not great. Not a lot of cash to buy the dip, if you will. But we, the retail investors, have plenty. Redfin has caught on. Redfin is now saying that sales in 2025 will be the worst since 1995. Yes, folks, 30 years. This is not a surprise to you because, frankly, I told you this was coming. We knew that 2025 was going to be the worst year. Thankfully, 2026 will be a little bit better, and we will slowly build out of this. Don't know if you are watching gold, but I thought it was interesting. Gold is up 42% year to date for 2025. That's an impressive run for the Yellow Rock. I do want to give you an update on the ORAT event. As you guys know, we've been lucky enough to get Rob from Rawbuilt on the channel a couple of times. He is a short-term rental expert. He has agreed. He has agreed to come out to Vegas and speak at our event. So we're lucky to have somebody who is elite at short-term rentals, an area that I know nothing about, have zero experience, is willing to come out and speak to us about short-term rentals. So again, folks, if you want to come to the Vegas event and see folks like Rob Pace Morby, Jason Hartman, and so many other rock stars. Go get your tickets because you do have a limited time to get a $100 bonus, get an autographed book, and get a Zoom call with other folks that bought in September. So again, folks, buy your tickets. Update on Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is taking it on the chin right now. Houston has a record 44,000 homes available, active listings. That's up 8,000. Folks, in Texas, if you don't know, they build a lot. And according to data in this report, 230 single-family home permits were issued between 2020 and 2023. Guess what, folks? You build. Yeah, that's called supply. That's how you fix this housing market. Fannie Mae has updated their mortgage forecast. Again, I think more and more people are realizing that the mortgage rates are in a slow floating down as the Fed has initiated a rate cutting cycle, as spreads collapse. And the Fannie Mae now sees rates below 6% next year. Although they do not see that until Q4. So they now see mortgage rates below 6 in Q4 of 2026. I'll tell you this, if I were to guess, I might even say Q1, maybe Q2. So I will take the under. I think it's going to happen much sooner than Fannie Mae says. But hey, we shall see. Jerome Powell's out talking. Future rate cuts not guaranteed. Okay. Actual impact of inflation from tariffs has been modest, less than expected. So Trump was right. Is that another thing you're saying, Powell? Just curious. How about Scott Bessent? Scott Bessent is doing something that Treasury secretaries historically don't do. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is basically calling a shot on the Fed, saying the Fed's not doing their job. Bessent says, we are going into an easing cycle. We will see massive decrease in mortgage rates. And Powell should have signaled between 100 and 150 basis points, not the weak 75. So again, folks, it is time, again, according to Scott Bessent, for the Fed to be more aggressive and get going on a rate cutting cycle. So again, very, very cool. Mortgage apps today up 0.6%, refis up 1%, purchase up 0.3%. However, year on year, refis are up 42% and purchase up 18%. So again, still seeing double-digit year growth in mortgage applications. Read an interesting article about where household income is falling. Yes, folks, where's household income falling? I got the top 3 cities you can Google for the article. I think there was 5 or 6 where household income was falling. But Minneapolis, Minnesota took the lead on this, and household incomes fell 4.04% year on year. Miami down 3.3%, and Denver, Colorado down 1.7%. So yes, folks, median household income fell in Minneapolis, Miami, and Denver. AutoZone had earnings and says we plan to aggressively open stores next year. They did beat on top line, which means revenue. However, they missed on earnings or bottom line. But same-store sales were up 4.5%. Redfin's highlighting that there are 35.2% more buyers than sellers. Jerome Powell also says that rates are still modestly restrictive. And folks, get ready for the government shutdown. Government shutdown. Betting site Kalshi says that there is a 70% chance of government shutdown. I think it's October 1st. Might be October 2nd, but in early October, there's a threat of a government shutdown. Goldman Sachs out with raising the target for S&P 500 is now at 7,200. Yes, over 7,000. That is a 12-month target. So again, over the next 12 months, Goldman Sachs sees S&P at 7,200. Goodwill, the CEO of Goodwill, is actually expecting an influx of Gen Z customers because of AI. again, warns that the youth unemployment crisis is already here. Again, folks, something definitely to watch for in the unemployment numbers. There are, in my opinion, some very significant warning signs occurring right now. And this is why I went on the, Fed should have cut 50. I think they made a mistake. Fed President Goolsbee says Fed has to be careful not to be too aggressive with rate cuts. I think Goolsbee is taking shots at Moran. What Moran said the other day is the Fed should go 50-50-50. And I think some of the other Fed presidents are trying to get the new guy in line, which I do not think is going to happen. The new guy is very short term. I think he's got less than 6 months in the job. So we shall see what other Fed presidents have to say. Finally, folks, single-family rent growth is starting to weaken, starting to slow. Through July, rent growth in single-family homes is up 2.3%. Last year, by comparison, it was up 3.1%. Again, folks, this is single-family homes, not multifamily, not apartments, single-family only. Folks, at the end of the day, don't forget to join school. It's where we have nearly 500 everyday wealth builders asking questions, networking, getting to know each other, moving forward. And of course, buy the tickets to our Vegas event. We just added another A-list real estate expert, Rob from Robuilt. We'll be talking about short-term rentals and the like. So again, folks, headliners. We will see you in Vegas. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Later.